Hey, morning. I don't know if you can see me, but I'm hoping you can. If you're on Twitter, probably not. We're trying a new thing, so bear with us, okay? Uh this new thing involves using not facial recognition software, just so we're clear, right? This new thing involves just Twitter live with no, but I don't know if you guys are gonna like it. I think you guys like when you can see me, right? I'm not sure that you like it when you can't see me. So let me know. Give me some feedback, my Twitter audience. Let me know if you like it or if you don't, what the story is, right? So something interesting happened overnight here in Detroit. The story on facial recognition software started to develop. And it began to late last night as I lay down. Sometimes at nights I tend to read a little bit before I fall asleep. And because I'm tuning out, right? Say defunk, I'm defunking, right? So I tend to, I don't think my Twitter audience is liking not seeing me. Nah, you guys are not liking that, are you? Mm. Anyway, at some point we're gonna switch it around. And I'm alone today, so sucks to be me, right? It's the holidays. People have stuff to do, right? So anyway, overnight, this thing began circulating through the media, the facial recognition software. I think it was spurred on by the conversation around ICE and ICE using, it's first appeared in the New York Times, where ICE, Immigration and Customs Enforcement, was scanning databases in 3 states to look at people's driver's licenses and to see who is an undocumented immigrant, right? And so that conversation started. But what investigative journalists found out is that that software was already being used here in Detroit by the Detroit Police Department, and that it had some connotations. I don't know that I like it because it seems as if people of color are disproportionately, as usual, marginalized. The software has some negatives to it, most of which seem to indicate that people of color are largely marginalized and are most likely to be identified in a scan as having done something. So here in Detroit, there's this project by the police department called the Green Light Project. And if you were to go to places like uh, gas stations and apartment buildings, and that's crazy. Apartment buildings, gas stations, convenience stores, and so on, you would see a green light, which tells you that there is a police surveillance camera. Well, the mayor also took it a step further by attaching cameras to certain traffic points. The whole goal really was supposed to identify carjackers. There's so much violent crime in the city of Detroit. There is a shooting every striking day. There is nothing we can tell people to put the guns down. They're not listening. We can advocate for conflict resolution. They're not listening. We can talk about the impacts of gun violence on family members. They're not listening. We can talk about what they shouldn't do. They don't care. What they care about is guns, guns, and more guns. I kid you not. On over the July 4th holiday, I read the latest report. There were 9 shootings on July 4th overnight. Most of it stemmed from arguments surrounding fireworks. Go figure. But you know what caught me was the age of the perpetrators and the victims. They were all young men in their 20s. Years ago, I was part of a forum where we found out that most of the people lying in funeral homes on the slab of the medical examiner at the morgue were in their 20s. So there's nothing you can say to reach this generation. They're so angry and they're so caught up in their anger that they are unreasonable, they're unreachable. There is nothing you can say to reach them. A young man was killed over the weekend who is a pastor, who was a change agent, who was trying to do something to help and motivate young people to be better than they are. They killed him. Not because he was involved in something, not for any reason. He probably was just trying to preached the gospel of nonviolence. He was 31. They killed him, shot him in the head while he was driving. His car overturned on a ramp. Can you dig it? There is nothing we can say that is going to get to this generation. They're not interested in moving forward. They're not. Listen, can I just be honest with you all? Can I just be honest for a minute? I'm just going to level the playing field here and be as transparent as we can be. The playing field of life was never level. Okay? White people have a 400-year start on generational wealth. Do you get that? White people have a 400-year start on this. It makes no sense that you, as a person of color, going to sit back and cry about it. The thing to do is to do something about it. Create something that is going to be of generational wealth. You know, one of the first things that you can do, I used to feel bad and cringe when people talked about this, but you know, one of the first things you can do is buy some life insurance. Life insurance is very affordable. How about buying some life insurance that leaves something for your descendants when you die? How about that? How about writing a will so your estate doesn't go into probate? Multi-generational wealth. How about let's just start there. Even if you have a mortgage on your house, still write a will. If you have $4,000 in a bank account, you need to write a will. Do you see what I'm saying? And for the love of God, take out life insurance. So if something happens to you, you can pay your own funeral expenses so your descendants don't have to die. And then they wonder what's going to happen. Do you see what I'm saying? It can't happen to anybody at any time. And this is not about preaching the gospel of death. No. Right? Take out some life insurance. You can start out with $75,000. That will pay your funeral expenses of $9,000, $12,000 and still leave your family members with something to show that you lived. Do you get what I'm saying? And it's mind-blowing to me how people just don't want to do that. I can't get past that, because to me it seems more like we're not ready for this, right? It's almost as if, hey, what are we doing here, right? So start by creating something. That's the first place to start. You don't have to be a you're going to start something like, you're going to do something so radical that people are, you're going to start a business. No, you just start right where you are. Just start right where you are, right? And that is enough to do what you need to do. I'm replace the camera because I don't think my Twitter audience likes me. I don't think they liked me not seeing me. Right? Well, thank you. That was an experiment. So now we know, right? So do you see what I'm saying? So start by creating some generational wealth. Start somewhere. We recognize that there are inequities in the system. There are inequities in the system. It's been 400 years. You can't go back in the past and extrapolate what happened 400 years ago. But what you can do is start right where you are right now. How about start saving something? Save $5 a day. Put something away. Buy property. You live in some other place, buy some property in Detroit. It's going to worth something later on. But start somewhere. This generation, the young people today, the people who are 30 and under, they are so angry. It's unbelievable. I see it in their faces. They're frustrated, and they feel like the only way they can get past anything is to pull out a gun and start shooting. Well, what does that do? You all end up dead. And you're all going to end up either in jail or in the grave. We've been preaching this gospel for 30 years, and it's not getting anywhere. They're not listening. So guess what we're going to do, the rest of us? We're going to move on, okay? We're going to move on, and for those who get the message, they get it. For those who don't, well, can't help you, buddy. You either going to go to the grave or you're going to go to the jail. Pick your choice. We don't have any more time to waste. They spent 400 years trying to get you to this point. You've got to get up and do something. People don't try. They don't want to do something that is different. Now, if you don't have the power, you're not going to be able to change anything. Let's just be clear. And if you continue to slide into uneducation And if you continue to slide significantly more into poverty, you're never going to have a seat at the table that is going to enable you to get up and do something. Let's just be clear about that. Young people today, they don't want to go to college. I'm tired of talking to young people who's like, college is not for me. Then what is for you? There are trade schools. You're going to go to a trade school, right? They won't even keep their grades up to take advantage of the 2-year college degree that is available around the city of Detroit. Not even that. So they complain that their parents are poor. And you want to see where my grandparents grew up. My mother went to school without shoes and walked 3 miles in a dirt road to go to school. And she still came to this country and became a nurse and made something of herself, left us something. When she died, we weren't singing Woe Is Me. She had a death insurance, plus she left us money. She left us money. Do you understand? And she came here when she was 50 and died when she was 72. So don't tell me that it can't be done. I came here as an immigrant. Everybody has a starting point. That was my starting point. Your starting point was your forebears came here 400 years ago as immigrants, including white folks too, right? So that was your starting point. Everybody has a starting point. So we all started off at zero. Come on, folks. You don't need $5,000 to start investing. There is an app you can download called Stash. You can set it up so that you can make deposits and you can make investments on it. It's called Stash, Stash. Yeah, it does work. Okay? It does work. Start somewhere. They had a 400-year start. Okay, so hold them accountable for reparations. They took your family members from way over from Africa and brought them here and made them work and didn't pay them. Okay, it's time to pay up. Come on, it's time to pay up. What's the value of that, right? I read a story yesterday where Mitch McConnell, and you know how I am, something fell, I can't just ignore it, right? Mitch McConnell, his great-great-grandfather were slave owners. Yeah. He's someone who doesn't believe in reparations, but his great-great-grandfather were slave owners. They owned 15 slaves. So he had land, because most Southerners will tell you that they were farmers. Well, who the heck was farming the land? Black people owned slaves too. Oh, sure. Prove it. Of course they did. But at least they gave it back to their family members, though. Right? So do you see what I'm saying? You see why this argument doesn't hold water? You see why it doesn't hold water? It doesn't hold water. It's time to get moving. It's time to get past it. And I'm especially talking to young people. One of the things I like about millennials today is how much they perceive risk as being different, right? So they're more entrepreneurial because they come out of college with a 4-year degree and they're going to pay you $15 an hour. You come out of college, you stay there, got your advanced degree, and they're still going to pay you $15 to $19 an hour. I kid you not, right? So they're like, are you kidding me? I spent 5 years in school, 6 years in school after high school, and this is it. So they're more likely to start a business and an idea, and they will fund it themselves. They'll find ways to fund it. I like that. We need to birth more of the entrepreneurial spirit. There are some things in life that no one can teach you. It kind of has to come from your own wellspring. It has to come from a place inside of you where you have a deep desire to be better. That's something that some members of this generation don't find appealing. They want us to continually do this. Hand you the finished product. Give it to you. Here, take it. Give you the finished product. Well, my thing is, what you going to do with it? Years ago, I had an assistant who you would consider a millennial. And the family and the folks around her told me that while she was in high school, I said, well, how come you didn't go to college? So she was in that gap year before college. So I said, how come you didn't go to college? She said, well, when she hit sophomore year of high school, her junior year of high school, something happened. What happened? She broke up with a boyfriend. I nearly rolled my eyes. And that made her stop studying. Okay. That was me. Okay. So you finished high school, but her grade point average was lower. So I said, well, we were the counselors. Did you ever, She said the counselors in high school were never available. I said, well, how many times did you knock on their door? Did you stand outside their door? Did you bombard them? Oh, so you made an appointment twice and they missed the appointment and you just said, oh, well, sucks to be you. That's the end of your life. I'm like, who needed the opportunity? You or them. The counselor is sitting behind the door because they have their degree already. You need a degree in order to get to where you want to be. So what are you going to do? You're going to stand out there and wait for that thing. Hello, somebody. Do you see what I'm saying? Do you absolutely see what I'm saying? They are not willing to go the extra mile. Nothing comes easy. Say it. Nothing comes easy. If it's worth having, it takes work. You're going to have to go at it. And sometimes, honestly, you're going to beat and beat and beat, and it still won't come. And you find yourself 10 years later beating and beating and beating until finally it caves in on you and gives it to you. But you have to be persistent. You have to be consistently persistent at it. Nowadays, people want this instant gratification, like it's Instagram. Life is not Instagram. You all are laughing over there, right? I know. Life is not Instagram. Life is not Insta. Life is put in the pace to do it. Whether your hard work is writing books, writing comics, right? Doing graphic design, right? Or whether your hard work is carrying a camera, whatever your hard work is, don't quit. Keep on at it and get out of the funk. We have allowed ourselves to fall into this funk that only certain groups of people can make it. So we tell ourselves this messaging, well, if I were blue, then I would make it. If I were green, I would make it. If I came from this family background, then I would make it. No, don't get me wrong. That's the subtle I am. Right? And that's the subtle messaging that is implied by the society, isn't it? The subtle messaging implied by the society is that you have to come from a specific group of people to be successful, that you have to have this kind of background. Isn't that what you see with advertising? It's very subliminal that you have to have this kind of advertising, right? The advertising suggests you have to live in this house. Your parents had to have been like this for you to be successful. Bully to that. That thing goes out the window. That's not true. That is not true at all, right? What is true is that you just need to get up and get up and get up every day. Don't follow the Instagram people who this is them all day. Well, just look at me. Life is so good. And I am just like this. And those folks are liars. They pay hundreds and thousands of dollars to promote themselves. All you're seeing is the finished product. And you think that that's what made it. No, it's not. You'd be surprised how many times those people go down on their knees before people. They beg people. They ask people. They infringe on people to get it done. It's called getting it done. It is what it is. Now, it's the degree to which you want to do it and how badly do you want it. I find today's people are not hungry. They're not hungry for opportunity. There's no hunger deep down in your knower, in your belly, that is telling people to get up. The people are not hungry for stuff, right? Why are you committing crimes? This facial recognition stuff threw me for a loop. You know, when I looked at it, and when I look at stuff, I'm like, there are two ways to look at this. One, from a crime fighting perspective, keeping the public safe, right? Then it makes sense. From another perspective, I'm like, I have some serious issues with privacy rights because I don't know that when I'm standing pumping gas that I want people to be looking at me using my credit card. Do you see what I'm saying? I don't know that I could be standing at the gas station. Sometimes you ever pump gas and it's that moment when you just stand there and your mind is just completely blank. I don't know that I want people looking at my face. I also don't know that I want to be profiled as a likely female culprit who commits a certain type of crime. Do you see what I'm saying? So I have issues with it. But on the other hand, what is the game plan? What is the game plan? What is the alternative? If people continue to shoot grandmothers, are you kidding me? Nothing is holy and sanctified anymore. Nothing is sacred or sacrilegious. You're going to shoot a pastor? You're going to shoot a grandmother over some stupid idea? You drive past people's homes and shoot them up. Come on, Detroit. Come on, young people. It's not just in Detroit. It's in Miami. It's in Baltimore. It's in Philadelphia. It's in Compton. Wake up. It's been 400 years. Get out of the funk. Get out of it and start getting up and planning and strategizing. Go to damn school for starters. In the city of Detroit, the statistics are that over summer, 13 to 19-year-old girls get pregnant. In 1 year, the last year on record was 2016, 1,300 of them got pregnant. 13 to 19-year-olds, that's significant. What does that tell you? That's a life of poverty for that girl and the children she will have thereafter. It's over. Because the will to get up and to finish alternative school, the will to get up, she doesn't have the support infrastructure to go have a baby and then go finish school. She's not going to get to college. So what kind of life does she have for herself and the children that she will have after? Because statistically, once they have a child between 13 and 19, by the time they're 20, they'll have two more. Because they feel so bad. They're not motivated. People lack motivation. And frankly, this happens even in homes where there's a father. So it has nothing, because at first we were looking at it like maybe, single parent, she's busy, or single parent, he's too busy. No, even with a father, the messaging. Everybody's on Instagram and you want to be an influencer, but you don't want to pay the price. Do you know what those influencers pay? They inbox me all day. No, I'm not putting my name and face attached to your product. Thank you for the opportunity, but no, I don't know enough about you. You could be a scammer. In fact, you want to know something? Go look them up in Google and see if they're a scammer. No. I'm not giving you my address. Neither am I going to give you my bank details. And I'm not going to tell you what my Cash App or my PayPal is. Do you see where I'm coming from? But everybody wants it like handed on a platter. Can't get out of the funk, right? So many of you are developers. People are smart. When God was distributing intelligence, he kind of just did it, He didn't say, okay, I'm going to bestow it only on one group of people and only this group of people have it. No, he kind of gave it. It was kind of free will in there. So people can do it. Last weekend, we had an incident here in Detroit where the Lodge Freeway goes through Detroit all the way to downtown. And in Southfield and so on, it's Northwestern Highway, right? So most of us, we just call it the Lodge. Because when it passes through Southfield, it becomes Northwestern Highway. Nice. So a group of young men who drive Dodge Chargers, Dodge, Chrysler makes Dodge. Dodge makes some vehicles called Chargers, some cars called Chargers and Challengers. The Challengers are the two-door models. And the Chargers, they have a Hemi engine, right? And I tell you, these folks don't miss on the freeways. You can hear them coming from a mile away. Well, last Saturday night, they took it to the Lodge and they decided to spin donuts. They burnt rubber on the freeway, shut the freeway down, and nobody knew what was going on until a girl posted it on Facebook. We on the Lodge with it. Do you know that by Tuesday, a Detroit rapper, GMAC Cash, had created a song, We on the Lodge with it? Nice. I mean, he dubbed it really well, right? He dubbed the sound of the young woman saying, we on the Lodge with it. They now have t-shirts, we on the Lodge with it, all kinds of stuff. If I play the song for you, you will die. The song sounds good. Ingenuity, right? That speaks to someone's creativity and ingenuity. He's making some money off it because it was downloaded. I think it was downloaded like 50-something thousand times, right? I downloaded it because I liked it and I like to support artists, right? But do you see what I mean? Somebody else went and made t-shirts, we on the Lodge with it, right? Ingenuity, create something that's going to leave a legacy, right? When my mother died, it was a wake-up call, right? For years, I had had life insurance. I stepped up to the plate, increased it, right? Because when she died, we didn't have to sit here and we can't call it funeral home because we don't know how much it's going to cost. No, we didn't have to do that. We called up a funeral home like, yeah, here's the policy. No, we want this, we want that. She took the policy out. And you know what we found out? She took out the policy like some 10, 12 years before. She always said, I'm never going to be a problem to anybody. That's what we need. Leave something for generations. Leave something, create something. I'm tired of GoFundMe pages. Yeah, but we shop, right? Put aside $5 every day or every week. It adds up. It helps to defray the expenses. Leave something. These young folks today, they're creative. There's nothing wrong with their minds. Nothing at all wrong with their minds. Poverty has nothing to do with your mind. Poverty has nothing to do with your smarts and your intelligence. Get up and do something. They're not willing to try. I saw, what's his name, Floyd Mayweather on Instagram the other day with a stash of hundreds, of a stash of money. According to him, he was counting $1 million. And I was like, who is that man's publicist? Somebody needs to tell him, you don't do that as a public figure. You know why? You're inviting the feds to come and investigate why you're walking around with $1 million cash in your house. They're going to know, did you pay taxes on that? How did you earn it? Yeah, they have a right to ask. All they want to know is, did you pay taxes on it? Once they ask that question, that tells them how you earned it. I'm like, who is talking to these people? In his quest to show off that he has made it, he lost his common sense, that you don't become obvious and leave digital images behind. Do you see what I'm saying? So I'm like, he needs a good publicist. I should have tweeted him and said, you need a good publicist, hire me. Right? People today, the little things that we can do. We won't take care of ourselves. We won't eat properly. Hey, yeah, I'm still seeing people drinking pop. And I'm like, why are you melting your bones? The stuff in the Diet Coke products and the Pepsi products, it's so strong. It will melt the calcium in your bones. It's addictive. If you start drinking Mountain Dew, you can't stop it. Why are you still drinking pop? I told you that I've gone on this binge eating thing where I've been eating veggies and stuff, right? And I didn't realize the extent to which my diet had changed my system. I barely eat chicken. I have to crave it, and then all I want is a flavor. So I cooked roast chicken, and I cooked curry chicken, and I cooked chicken for my children, but I can't eat it. Well, over the weekend, it was July 4th. It's barbecue time. And guess who loves the flavor of barbecue? So I made barbecue chicken. Guess what? I ate it. My stomach immediately reacted. And like I said, what feels so funny? It was me. It took days to come out of my system. Like my stomach is like, are you kidding me? It just went. I was like, oh my gosh. Totally rewired my body. Our bodies are organic. We're designed to break down. We fluff up, grow up, and then, like a tree that is planted by the river, right? And we fluff up and grow up. And then after a while, our bodies are designed to come down. They break down. Our bodies are organic. That's why from ashes to ashes, dust to dust, we go back to the earth where we came from, to the dust. That's what made us. The Bible didn't lie, right? So what you put in, it's got to go somewhere. Stop eating all that stuff. The Big Macs, the stuff that's bad. I mean, every now and then you crave it. I craved a burger so badly. The taste of meat. I said to myself, maybe I'm missing protein or I'm not getting enough. I eat eggs and fish and peas and beans. That's my protein. You need protein when you crave sweet stuff. So if you start craving sweet stuff, go eat some protein, right? And eat direct source of protein like peas and beans and eggs, right? Chicken doesn't have enough protein. Chicken has less than 50% protein. So just so you know, years ago, it was 60%. I dare say it's 50% now, right? So what happens is I made burgers And so I had to try one. So I loaded it up with, with my coleslaw, make my own slaw and stuff, and loaded it up. Can't do that anymore. Be careful of what it contributes. Take a drink before they go to bed at night. Some of you think it's social, right? So you gather together with your friends and you start drinking. And then you find that you, at a certain time of the day, you got to have a drink. As soon as friends gather when the sun starts going down, you got to have a drink. You wake up the next morning and you're dizzy. Your eyes are red. Stop drinking. Take better care of ourselves. Those things contribute to your mind-body experience, how you feel about yourself. It's important to take care of you. It's important because what goes in, it doesn't always come out. Do you know that? Because our bodies are organic, it finds places to sit in your cells and the lining of your stomach walls. That's where the death begins. Death begins in the colon. Everything comes out. You have to eat so many fruits and veggies that the lining of the intestines is so soft and kind of oily that it just makes the stuff slide right out. Take care of ourselves. Take care of what goes into your minds. Listen to positive messages. People who are encouraging you, but not telling you every day is going to be so filled with light that you don't hit the ground. But listen to messages that impact you, lands on you, that makes you want to get up and do something. If that isn't happening, change your circle. I posted some articles yesterday. Did you all see them? I know you just kind of kept scrolling and scrolling and didn't read them. It talked about narcissistic people and how toxic people tend to manipulate conversations and manipulate the messaging around you. Get rid of those. Get rid of negative people. Like seriously. Change your perspective. In other words, what I'm saying is the change that you need does not have to be so world changing. It doesn't require $1 billion, because sometimes we tend to look at life not just realistically, but we tend to look at life like, I want what he has and I want what she has. And if I don't get what he or she has, then I'm not successful. No. How about figuring out what is good for you? Because here's the thing. I don't know if I can walk in your shoes. I don't know if I could stand the heat, right? Do you see what I'm saying? I don't know if I could do that. So what I'm saying is, if not, do something that is positive, right? We only have a few more minutes because I'm experiencing some stuff here, some technical difficulties. But the point I'm making is this: you get it, right? Do something. Get out of the funk. Get out of it. And here, I've given you some simple ways to get out of it. Start changing your mind. Start changing what you eat. Start making a plan. Do you know? Studies show that when you make a plan for the future, it moves you in the right direction. It changes you. It gives you something to look forward to. The other day I went somewhere and, somebody was just being totally negative. And I'm like, I wish my life were that simple. I said, girl, you don't know what is on my heart. I said, try walking in my shoes. You want to think like you want to be me. I said, try having a burden to do something, and you have to figure out where the money is coming from. And you have to go find it to help people. Try that. Then you can come back and tell me how bad your life is. We take things for granted, right? Here in America especially, we have food to eat, running water, There are people in the world who don't even know what that is. There are people in the world for whom that's a challenge. We are starting off the blocks. Look at all those folks coming across the southern border. What do you think they're coming here for? Because they think it's a better life. They're willing to go through the process because they think after the end of the process, their lives will be better than where they're coming from. And here you are, won't even get up. People won't get up. It's easier to take out a gun and start popping shots. It seems we have come to that point where it's only a few of us, the few who are left, who are willing to get up and do something. I can't help but tell you my story. I came here as an immigrant. I came from nothing. I had to start from the ground up. Nobody handed me a platform. I had to create it. They didn't tell me, here's my stage, go stand on it. They didn't do that. They pushed me aside so they could continue running. I had to figure it out. And I was willing to do it. I didn't stand there and say, oh, woe is me. I said, all right, this is what we're going to do. And got busy and kept busy. Some days I challenge myself. I don't do enough. I really think that I could do more. I kid you not. My friend Elaine, last week, I was having one of those come to Jesus moments. You know, when you get in your feelings? That ever happened to anybody? And I called Elaine and I'm like, oh. And she said, stop. What do you mean? And she recounted everything. She said, this is what happened. This is what you did. This is what's going on. What is wrong with you? I was like, okay. Thank you. She's like, what is wrong with you? I'm going on vacation. When I come back, we need to talk about this some more. I was like, thanks for reminding me. Get up and get busy. Think. This right here is the best computer in the world. Think. Put stuff positive in this. Right? And think. Strategize. My friends, write the vision. They even have notebooks on your phone, notepads. Write the vision. I like to write mine out and, you look at mine. Hey, you see all that stuff? I draw circles, I write notes. Especially when I'm pressing for stuff. Heck yeah. Write the vision. There are some things we're never going to change. There are inequities in the system. It seems we're advancing to a class-structured society where we're either going to have money or not, where color, while it's a factor, may not be as significant as how much money do you have. That's where we are going. So where do you want to be? You want to be at the bottom? In the middle? As for me, only the top is going to make it. That's how I see it. So I'm pushing my children. Get busy. We don't have time to waste. We got stuff to do. Come on. So if you don't have someone in your circle who can push you. Push yourself. This is why you plan and you think and you listen and get busy by yourself. When you're driving home in your commute, listen to your thoughts. Listen to what you're thinking. At nights, before you fall asleep, turn the TV off. I beg you. Turn it off. Turn it off. Put the phone down. Turn it off. Either you're going to read or you're going to listen to yourself. Pick your choice, right? You're going to read something that is going to change your perspective, that's going to influence the way you think, or you're going to think it through. I kid you not. Everything starts with an idea. So a mind is the best part of the body because it all starts here. When you start finding yourself going negative, cut it off, bring it back up, right? Change the foods we eat. Some foods make us drowsier. Some foods give us the funk and it's hard to get up. Some foods actually do contribute to depression. You eat too much of that, too much sugar, you find where that goes. You can't get up. So many people have joint issues. I'm like, for the love of God, people get up and get moving. You know how lazy, you know how much it takes to get up in the mornings and get going? That's why I exercise in the mornings, because I have to push myself. I don't really want to. I hate it, but I have to do it. I get up and do it. I tell myself I don't have a choice. So I get up and do my stretches and do my yoga and twist my body. One of these days, I'm going to show you what I do, right? Because I tell myself I don't have a choice. Do you really think I enjoy eating veggies? I have some cabbage right now that I need to go make into, like, I add cabbage, carrots. I don't put the sweet stuff with it, but just cabbage, carrots, tomatoes, cucumbers, that kind of stuff. I throw some iceberg lettuce in it and I eat that. I just munch on that. And certain times of the month I do eat Better Made chips, but don't tell anybody, right? But seriously, do you think I really enjoy eating that? No, but I tell myself I don't have a choice because I want to get out of the funk, right? Get out of it. Trouble doesn't last. I'm a living witness. Can I just tell you the truth? I'm a living witness. When my mother died, it threw me for a spin. You all know I talk about it. I can talk about it, but 2 years ago, I couldn't talk about it. It threw me for a spin. It sent me into depression. I felt like I had lost heaven. I had lost earth. I felt so bad. Then my ex-boyfriend and I broke up because he cheated. So that went through the window. And it was like everything was just happening all at once. Sent me into a funk. For the remainder of 27, most of the year for 2018, I did nothing. I didn't get up until September 2018 when I said to myself, you're either going to sit here or you're going to get up and finish what you got to do. I have too much to do. I had way too much to do. Do you see what I'm saying? At some point, I came to myself and I said, Harriet Kemick, you are an author. You're a speaker. Get busy with doing what you've been called to do. Go change lives. Go impact people. And I had to get up. Here I am, right? So thank you so much for your support. Thank you for listening to me. Tells me that you're interested in what I have to say. Share this message with others. I do write books. They're available on Amazon.com and BarnesandNoble.com. I also have a foundation that supports survivors of human trafficking. You hear all this stuff in the news with Jeffrey Epstein and sex trafficking. I'm happy that the story comes up because then it tells you that when I talk about it, it's real, right? There are real survivors, real people who have experienced this. What's your story? What do you do, right? Tell me what you do. Do it. I want to see it. Show me. Do it. Make an impact. Leave something behind so that the rest of us will know that your time here on the earth was not just a vapor. You meant something. See that young man who was shot on the east side, the 31-year-old man? People are saying he was a change agent. His 31 years, he made an impact. Some of us are in our 70s and locks still have nothing to show. Come on. It's not too late. It's not too late. Get up. Let's do something, right? Let's do something. Let the light in, as they would say. So one of these days, I'm going to do some yoga moves so that you all can do something. So you can see that it is doable. It's quite doable. It doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter what it takes. It is doable, right? Right. Thanks so much. I appreciate it. And for those of you on my Facebook feed, I know that life is challenging. We're at a certain age where we think that life is over. And there are certain things that happen to us at a certain age. You know, life changes, our bodies change. We're not as responsive as we used to be. Change something. Maybe diet is an issue. Some of us, life is full of stress. I mean, just driving on the freeways. I can't wait for flying electric cars, for flying cars. I've just about had it with folk driving. I think I've been driving too long all my life, right? But life comes with stress. If it's not that, some of us are at that point where you're taking care of children and taking care of your elderly parents. You have to face issues of your own health, your spouse's health. Some of us are losing spouses. Some of us are losing friends all around, right? People are just dropping off like flies all day, every day, right? Those are life events. They contribute to the stresses of life. Children going to college, especially at this time of the year, when you have to figure out, well, how am I going to pay for that? This is how much money we have, baby. This is how it's going to work, right? Children going to college. Children came home from college. They can't find a job, so they're back home. And they're eating you out of the house and land and car, right? Life issues. And then you have your own self to deal with. You wake up and you realize you're no longer 45. You're no longer 40. You're in your 50s now. For women, we face menopause and all kinds of cessation of, and the messaging around that is like life ends. Then how come it doesn't end for men? Men say they go through withdrawal too. So how come the messaging is not that men have experienced some form of menopause? I'm just saying. Regardless, all of these things contribute to how we feel and contribute to the negatives that are around us. Friends change on you, then you move house, and then you realize that maybe that was not a smart thing to do. I am 50 and I go take on a 30-year mortgage. Maybe I shouldn't have done that, right? Some of us are entering, this phase of life, and you have so much debt. Stresses of life, friends getting ill, right? You go to the doctor and they're like, I see something. And you're like, we're not doing that. Not today, not tomorrow. We're not doing you see something. You better not see anything. There's nothing there to see. But the point I'm making is we all face issues. We owe it to ourselves to get up out of it. We don't know how long we're going to live. As far as I know, I could live for another 50 years. It could be 100. I don't know. I'm prepared for it. So I'm like, every day I get up, I'm like, you better move these joints, exercise these joints, because how long am I going to need them for? I don't know, but I do know. As long as I live, I want quality of life. I want to live where I'm not a burden to my family members and I'm not a burden to myself. Do you see where I'm coming from? I want to live gloriously. Let us get out of the funk. Let us look at life. Yes, the politics are bad. Don't go there. The politics of the day are bad. It's enough to make you think. It's never going to change, is it? You look at your bank account and there are less zeros. And you're like, it's getting closer to the digits I don't want to see. You look at your 401k and you're like, what if I choose to retire at 55? Is there enough money? No. It's one of the things we tell ourselves. We look at our 401k and you have $200,000 and you think, man, I'm rich. No. $200,000 for one illness, I can just help you right there. If you see the medical bills from illnesses, $200,000 is nothing. So keep yourselves healthy so that you can go to work longer. It's good for you. It's healthier for you if you're moving. You don't have to work at the same position that is full of stress. You can work at something else where it's less stressful, gives you time to enjoy life, but you still contribute and, you still earn an income and it keeps you mentally engaged. Keep yourselves do crossword puzzles. When mom got sick, before she died, she used to do a lot of crossword puzzles. You know what it brought back? It brought back memories because when I was a kid, we used to do crossword puzzles together. Do crossword puzzles and board games. These are the things that we grew up on. I don't see kids doing today. Okay, so the times have changed. You don't need board games now. You have them electronically. They still are not doing it. They're more likely to go on YouTube and look up how to do this, how to do all the stuff that does not contribute. And then they wonder why they're just so dissatisfied. But we have to live lives that are so fulfilled that it makes them envious, that they have to look at you and say, what is she on? I go around, my daughter's friends come over and, they're young people. The one thing they can say, I don't look like I'm in a funk or I just look like I'm laid up and the life is over. Oh, no. They're like, I want to be like your mom. What does your mom do? I mean, well, she just, just gets up. You have to. You owe it to yourself. Get out of the funk. Get out of it. Unpack it all. Just shake it off, all the stuff. Okay, so I thought I was going to be an astrophysicist and I never made it. And you can be an astro-you, right? It doesn't have to be an astrophysicist. Hey, look at me. I thought I was going to be an advocate as a lawyer. I didn't go to law school, but I'm an advocate for folks who are voiceless and for folks who are hopeless. It's all in the messaging. It's all in the messaging. I still get paid. How much do you think they pay lawyers today? Not as much as you would think that they should. It takes 30 years to get to that point. Do you see what I mean? Start your own homegrown business organically. Start it. Organically means you started with just the germ of the idea. You don't need a full-on startup cost. You read all about these significant events happening and people are making this happen and it's, they needed $150 million to start up. And this is you. I don't even have $150. Start right where you are. When I started, I was a working mom with 2 children in 2 different school districts. I had to start right where I was. I didn't have the support system, and neither was I looking for it. Do you know what I mean? I knew it didn't exist. I didn't have a husband who was going to pay the bills so I could do what I do. I didn't have the support system of having family inherited money so I could do it. I had to start it organically and grow it at the same time to keep a roof over our heads, right? It adjusted my perspective and it broke me because what I thought I needed for life, I didn't need. I thought I needed to live in a gated community and, enjoy that kind of life where I went shopping and, everything was done. Well, they beat me up a lot in those situations, in those scenarios. So I realized that that was not living. I didn't want to live like that. So it adjusted me, broke me. Life broke me. And I'm grateful because now I live gloriously. I woke up this morning, y'all, and I'm one of those persons who, when I sleep, you twist, right? So I like to think that when I'm sleeping, I lay down and, oh no. Apparently, when I sleep on my hands, I sleep here, I twist. When I got up this morning and I stepped onto the ground and I realized, I could stretch, something loosed. I haven't felt this joyful since July 4th. Because I ate too much, right? I haven't felt this. I was like, I can't wait to come and tell you how exciting your life is going to be, just like mine. I really couldn't. I have my things to do, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I have so much to do. I'm so grateful. Start right there. Start right where you are. Don't cry. I know it's bad. I know, yes, they walk out and leave us. Yes, all day, every day. But they're not worth it. So it's a good thing they left. Okay? It's a good thing. When people choose to leave your life, let them go. Chances are, if they had stayed, they would have cost you more. They would have given you more pain, right? They would have made you dragging. Let them go. It's a good thing. Let them go. So they walked out, they left, they took the job from you. Okay, maybe if you had stayed there 20 years from now, you would still be there and you'd be as miserable as nothing. And you turn around and look at yourself and you're like, whatever, let it go. So it's happened. Okay, so what? What's my next? What's next? If you can ask yourself what's next, chances are you're going to be much, much happier, right? I have found that that's one of the things that worked for me. Was asking myself, what's next? So this happened. I wasn't planning on it, but it happened, right? Life is a cycle. Every 7 years, count your 7 years up and see where you are. And it's doable. So I need you to do this because I want to see your face in the space every day. I want to know that you are here every day, counting the days and enjoying yourself. You don't have to go to Rome for a vacation. You can have a vacay in your backyard. You can have a vacay in your basement. Sometimes just going in your bedroom and shutting the door is a vacation. I kid you not. If you live in one of those houses that your whole bedroom is a suite, thank you, Jesus. Right? Go visit friends who are well-meaning and friends who love you. Right? But do something for yourself and live your life gloriously. Hey, look at it this way. The people who walked out and the people who left you and the job that they took, they need to see you like this. They need to see you smiling and laughing. They need to know that what they thought their actions was going to do to you, that it didn't happen. They need to see you smiling. Don't even talk. You can talk about what they did and laugh about it. So you thought that this was going to happen? But live your life for yourself, because chances are the universe took them out of your life. God probably took them out because they were going to hurt you when he could see down the road what they were going to do. They were going to hurt you and cause irreparable harm. So he took them away. I had a job years ago when I lived in Florida. I had a job that I was desperate for. My ex-husband gave me a hard time. Do you know what going to work every day was like for me? Was getting out of it, right? It was getting out of it. And it was like I was walking in a fire because my boss at work was abusive and controlling. And then I had to go home. This guy, he was starting a telecommunications company. as an alternative. So he thought he could provide phones to clients, right? He had a business plan and he had a business model. The problem with him was he didn't have personality. He didn't know, he was looking at it from a technician's point of view, and he looked at his customers when they called in for service like they were stupid. So he didn't have a good business model. You see, he had the staff, people believed it, but he just couldn't shake it. And he fell into a funk. And that when he fell into depression because he realized he married a girl who was a dispatcher at the company they worked for, and he thought it was holy macaroni and stuff. Oh my gosh. And I will not forget how that man used to make me feel bad about going to work. And one day I was sitting in my car at lunch and I began to think about him. And I began to think about his business and how I could see his business was not going to last. Well, guess who knocked on my window? It was him. And he said, "Can I talk to you for a minute?" And I said, "Sure." I thought he was going to say it was time to come back to work. He actually said, "I recognize that you are married and I probably can't keep you because I won't be able to make payroll next week. Can I offer you to not work this week, the rest of the week, and not come back until the following week?" And I'm like, "You just saved me a lot of time." And he said, "Why, was that bad?" I said, "Yes." And he said, "What are you saying?" I said, "You have a good model, but you're not listening to your customers. You have to treat them well." And you do. And I said, "The most important customer are your staff. They're the people who matter. If they don't get it, they can't convince someone else to buy a product they don't believe in." And he went like, and he said, "Thank you." He said, "I will, sir." So he said, "What do you suggest I do?" I said, "It's up to you. It's up to you what you're going to do, but at least start by treating your employees well." And I just turned around in my car and went home. Right? Do you see what I'm saying? In everything, there is a lesson. And I was just so grateful that I could walk away from that because it was so toxic. I had to make a choice which toxic environment I had to put up with the most. Do you see what I'm saying? And sometimes that's what we do. We make concessions and we make choices. That's fine. It's all life. It struggles. You throw it up and you shuffle the cards, and what comes down is what it is. Sometimes we need to take more risk than we do. We don't take enough risk. We live comfortably in a comfort zone, and we won't try at something new. Boy, if I don't see the returns on that, it's like even buying stock. Before you buy stock in a company, you do like 1,000,000 times the research. And if you don't see it, you won't do it. No. You have to step out and you have to take a risk. Life is over. Then you got divorced. Start over. Get your hair done. I can't tell you enough how important it is that you invest in yourself. You got to like your own face that is smiling at you. Ladies, go get a spa treatment. Exfoliate your face. Color your hair. Change your hairstyle. Right? Go do something that makes you feel good about you. Invest in you. That's the best return. I tell young people this all the time. Go get an education. That's your best investment, is investing in yourself. And the same is true for all of us. Invest in yourself. Go somewhere you've never been before. Take a trip. Experience a new culture. Don't just eat barbecue ribs every day. Go eat something else. Eat some Thai food. Go to a Chinese restaurant. Go to an Indian restaurant. Go to a Chaldean restaurant. The world is filled with a diverse group of people with diverse experiences. Go listen to someone else speaking in a different language. It opens your perspective. Right? Live gloriously. Live gloriously. And then when it's all said and done, just chill with Netflix. Right? Right? So, are you going to do that? Go out and live. Live life gloriously. Life is worth it. It's worth it. For you. For you. For you. I just feel that you needed to hear this. There's somebody for whom this message is hitting home. Maybe you lost a spouse. Maybe it was death. Maybe it was divorce. Maybe someone important to you. Maybe it was even a job that you lost. and you feel like life is over. It's not. It ain't over till God calls it. Get up and live. Find a way. Work through it. Analyze your skills. Make a list and come back. Be the comeback kid, right? And live it gloriously. Whatever you do, get out of the funk. Even if you have to just go up to the coffee shop, do the coffee shop thing. For many years of my life, that's what I did. I went to the coffee shop. It's not that I needed to drink tea every day, but I wanted to be in a different environment where there were other people who stimulated my mind. I used to write better. I used to blog more. Do you see what I'm saying? So get out of it. Get out of it. Thank you so much, everybody. Be blessed. Join me again tomorrow. We're going to continue because vacay is over. I actually don't go on vacation until later on. So vacay is over for me. But for you, I know you're on vacay. You're probably watching me from the beach. Look at you. Are you on the beach somewhere? Watching me from the beach. Shake my head, right? Love you all. Love you people. Love you, love you, love you. Thank you so much. Thank you so very much. I wish you all the best. See you tomorrow. Take care, right? Take care. Take care. Take it real easy. And I'll see you all tomorrow, right? See your face in the space, right? Thanks so much, everybody. Thank you for joining me. Thanks so much. Yep, there we go. All I want is for